What's up, guys? I hope you're all having a fantastic day today. We have exciting news coming up in the XRP community that we can't afford to miss out on. But before we get into all the juicy stuff, let's look at the price of XRP on CoinMarketCap.com. As we all can see, XRP is at 0.6009 and has been up plus 2.59% over the last 24 hours. We're seeing some green there, and it seems we're making small steps in the right direction. Now that that's out of the way, let's roll that intro. As always, welcome back to Moneyside, your favorite crypto news channel. If you are new here, welcome to the XRP fam. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any of our daily crypto news updates. Now back to today's topic. We have this tweet from Law that will get us started today. He tweets, XRP community SEC Gov versus Ripple XRP breaking SEC files response to defendants' letters concerning public statement made by Commissioners Pierce and Roisman. In his tweet, he shares this document that shows the SEC response to defendants' letters regarding Pierce and Roisman PDF. To keep you up to speed, this is actually the response to a motion filed to dismiss the case from Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson regarding Pierce and Roisman's statement. I will walk you through this document and we will point out some of the exciting stuff that has been highlighted here. As we probably know by now, Pierce and Roisman made some statements, and Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson said that these statements from these two people actually back up their motion to dismiss the SEC lawsuit. This is quite interesting, so let's look further into what actually happened here. According to CryptoGlobe.com, in this statement, Pierce and Roisman expressed their disappointment with the fact that the SEC's press release about the settlement with CoinSchedule Blodex did not explain which digital assets touted by CoinSchedule were securities, and they pointed out that such an omission shows that the SEC is reluctant to provide additional guidance about how to determine whether a token is being sold as a part of a securities offering or which tokens are securities. They went on to say there is a decided lack of clarity for market participants around the application of the securities laws to digital assets and their trading, as is evidenced by the requests each of us receives for clarity and the consistent outreach to the commission staff for no action and other relief. The test laid out in SEC versus W.J. Howie Company, 328 U.S. 293, 1946, is helpful, but often, including with respect to many digital assets, the application of the test is not crystal clear. Now, the letter right here states, Dear Judge Torres, Plaintiffs' Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, writes in response to the July 19, 2021 letter filed by defendants Bradley Garlinghouse and Christian A. Larson, individual defendants, DE 264, and the July 2021 letter filed by defendant Ripple Labs, Inc., Ripple, together with the individual defendants, DE 266. In this action, the SEC alleges that Ripple and the individual defendants violated Section 5 of the Securities Act of 1933, Securities Act 15 U.S.C. 77E, by obtaining billions of dollars from public investors via unregistered offers and the sales of a cryptocurrency called XRP. The SEC also alleges that the individual defendants aided and abetted Ripple's violations of that statute. The individual defendants now argue that a July 14, 2021 statement by SEC Commissioners Hester M. Pierce and Elad L. Roisman statement supports their motions to dismiss DE 105-110, the SEC's claims of aiding and abetting. Ripple similarly argues that the statement saves Ripple's argument that because the SEC has not issued regulations governing cryptocurrencies, the Constitution bars the court from applying Securities Act Section 5, a strict liability statute, to Ripple's otherwise unlawful conduct. Defendants are wrong for at least 5 reasons. The SEC goes ahead to give its 5 reasons why Ripple is wrong about the statements. And we're definitely not about to read the 61 pages of this letter, but the one thing that's definitely evident in this is that this letter is just another painful read that falls back on old arguments. The Howey test is absolute here. The SEC just sits and says, we will just ignore the fair notice defense in our arguments and frame it otherwise, still claiming Ripple sold billions of securities to public investors knowingly. Pierce and Roisman's views are their own and not that of the SEC. Clayton gave a speech about ICOs. The SEC position should have been clear. But don't you think it's actually funny how the SEC completely omits the fact that Ripple had no ICO? Ethereum did and got its free pass. Clearly, they are relying on the Kick and Telegram cases to frame their argument again, which I feel Ripple will tear apart, as it has already been argued that the tokens were not securities in that instance. It's all cherry picking. We're clearly seeing that the SEC is just doing their best to delay the regulatory clarity on XRP, hence delaying its implementation as the world reserve currency. And we are not just making stuff up here. I want to share with you some resources that back up this claim, so stick around to see those as well. Now moving on, we have this tweet from Willy Wonka XRP that says, Trump Federal Reserve nominee Judy Shelton suggesting back to the future approach utilizing a gold standard in a cryptocurrency type of way. Level playing field. Listen closely. HODL XRP. Wonka knows. This guy shares this video from Tom Wilkinson where Judy Shelton is interviewed about the gold standard for the U.S. economy. She shares her thoughts about it, stating that what a gold standard stands for is a monetary discipline for its own sake. In that, if money is supposed to be a unit of account and a reliable measure and a dependable store of value, it really shouldn't be subject to who's the chairman of the Federal Reserve. She states that she thinks that money needs to be stable and provide the foundation for productive economic growth. And when money is just a variable that financial markets just toss around, or is part of a derivatives formula, or it's part of someone speculating on the currencies, it's not serving the private sector in the sense of providing that reliable unit of account so that you can make plans. And under the gold standard, you did have that stability, and she thinks that's what's missing. Further, she clarifies that she likes the idea of a gold standard that could be used in a very cryptocurrency way, to the point where we have a unified money system. When you talk about the international marketplace, everyone is playing on a level monetary playing field. She further says that the fact that we need a rules-based approach, she is advocating for the virtues of a gold standard, and we should try to come up with something that is very much closer to that if we want to have a more solid economic growth. What she's talking about here is that we need to have a store of value that you can move around, but it also needs to be reliable. And as we all know by now, Ripple XRP fits this profile. That's because XRP can be used to make transactions in a very efficient way. You can bridge currencies with it. It is green for the environment, a great store of value. In short, it has all these aspects, and that's what she's talking about here. And if we look at this tweet from Truth Crumbs, we can see something interesting. He tweets, when you hear all these discussions about CBDCs, you never hear anyone asking, how are you going to settle intercontinental payments? I'm here to tell you that they're going to be settled by a world reserve currency that's going to come from BIS, World Bank, IMF, or somewhere. And further, he shares this video where these two brilliant men are there describing a problem and have no idea the solution already exists, which is quite unbelievable. They're discussing the situation with banks and CBDCs, talking about how there will be cross-border payments. People in the US can transfer money to another person in Ireland or Japan, and how the transaction will need to be settled too, since the bank money is a liability to the Fed in the US and the bank in Japan. They talk about how when someone in the US sends $1,000 in reserves to someone in Japan, the transaction will need to be settled, as the bank in Japan won't just take on the liability for no reason. But this conversation tells us that even if the solution is already here, people are not doing enough to search for it. XRP literally is going to be that world reserve currency. If it comes down to the technology they will use to settle these payments, everything leads us back to XRP. We need something between the two banks involved in a transaction, as in no instance are we going to see another bank hold a foreign bank's currency. XRP presents just the right conditions to facilitate this, as it can bridge assets. It fits as a reserve currency. It's an efficiently green currency. It's fascinating just how XRP has all the aspects needed here. Those who are not seeing it have decided to be blind about it. Yep, guys, now it's time to check out your technical analysis. We're looking at the 12-hour time frame. XRP's price recoiled from support at 52 cents, clearing the path towards 60 cents. A break above the month-long descending trend line rejuvenates the bull's effort for gains heading to $1. Ripple has gained some ground since the sell-off earlier this week. The cross-border money transfer token lost a considerable amount of its value, whereby the bearish leg extended from 0.6 down to 0.52. A more than 10% decline in the cryptocurrency market is not surprising, but the same in another industry would leave an imperfect and an unwanted storm. Meanwhile, XRP seems to have gained all the ground this week, suggesting that the international money transfer will end the week in the green. At the time of writing, Ripple teeters at 0.59 and looking forward to trading above 0.6 in the near term. Several buy signals keep Ripple bulls on their toes as investors speculate on the price hitting higher levels in the coming sessions. Firstly, settling above 60 cents would be an excellent boost to ascertain the market's stability. Secondly, Ripple is trading marginally above a month-long descending trend line, suggesting that one of the most significant barriers are out of the way. Note that the 50 simple moving average, the SMA, caps the immediate upside and must come down for bulls to extend their leg towards 70 cents. The moving average convergence divergence, the MACD indicator, is vividly bullish as the 12-day EMA crossed above the 26-day EMA. As the MACD nears the mean line, the odds for Ripple sustaining the uptrend increase incredibly. Similarly, the Relative Strength Index, the RSI, affirms that bulls have the upper hand. This technical tool follows the trend of an asset and calculates its strength. A sharp move from the oversold region to the midline shows that the bull's grip is more substantial. If the Relative Strength Index continues with the same momentum to the overbought territory, Ripple will take down the numerous stubborn hurdles, heading towards $1. As always, trade safely, guys. Please keep in mind we're not a licensed financial advisor. All the videos on this channel are intended for entertainment purposes only. Tell us what you think in the comments section below, and let's have a conversation. Thanks as always for watching. Don't forget to like the video and to click on that subscribe button below. Turn on notifications so you get informed whenever we post our amazing content. Thanks again, and we'll see you in the next video.